Choose your character.
Welcome to Podcast by Default. It's your girl Kim.
It's me, Chris. Hello.
It's Angela. How you doing?
Yeah, that's the Angela that sounds like Jess. So today on Podcast by Default, not that we couldn't figure out a topic, it's just that Ange could not be with us tonight. So we decided to just do something more fun, lighthearted. And if you guys remember one of our earlier podcast episodes, we did something like Flash Round by Default. So we decided to do something like that again. We're just answering a bunch of questions, kind of like a mix of that episode and our very first episode, which if you haven't seen those or heard of those, go check that out on our channel. But yeah, we decided to just do something like that, keep it lighthearted, since we don't have a lot of people and we don't really have the energy to be, having some deep, full-on research discussion. We decided let's just do something fun, something where we can just talk and kind of just engage in some good conversation, kind of needed during these times. So our first question would be, what is the last movie you guys watched and how was it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Would you watch it again?
I guess I can go first on this one since I've kind of burned myself out on watching TV shows and I've been watching films in between playing video games. One of the last films I've watched is Bad Teacher. It's on Netflix and it's such a good film. Like, I thoroughly enjoy it and I'll probably watch it again. So basically Bad Teacher is this main character. She's like,
Is it Cameron Diaz?
I do not know the name of the actress, but how she plays the role is she's this basically badass woman who doesn't care about anything. So in the beginning of the film, by the way, spoilers for Bad Teacher. If you haven't seen it, it's a pretty old film. You should have already watched it.
Princess Fiona. It's Bad Teacher, by the way. It's Cameron
Who?
Diaz.
So she basically starts off with quitting her teaching job because she's gonna get married to this super rich guy, and she's a really superficial girl, right? And she only wants him for his money. She spent like over $1,000 in the past month, and he breaks up with her. The engagement is broken off, and she goes back to her teaching job. And she doesn't care about teaching, so she only shows films in school and doesn't actually teach anything to the students. And she starts saving money to get a boob job so she can try and marry a rich guy so she can have her life like set and stuff. And she becomes a better teacher like in the actual middle of the school year because the students have like a state exam that they have to do, and the highest scoring class gets and the teacher with the highest scoring class gets a bonus. So that money would go into her trying to get a new pair of boobs, and she breaks into the place where they have the answer sheet for the state exam, and her class scores the highest, and then there's a teacher there who's really envious of what the protagonist is trying to do, and then she pulls her own shit and it becomes a huge crazy mess.
What grade does she teach?
I do not know, but they're grade schoolers.
I actually have seen like a clip of the movie, but I can't remember which one. I remember seeing like a small part of it, but I've never really watched it. I think I should watch it though.
It
sounds good.
It's a solid film. It just shuts your brain off and enjoy the film.
What about you, Jess? What was the most recent movie you watched?
The most recent movie I watched, I think I've been watching a bunch of TV shows, so I think that the last movie I watched was Scoob, and you guys already know my thoughts on that movie. I feel bad because my kids, especially my mom, my siblings really do like it. I get it because they didn't grow up with Scooby-Doo as their entire world like I did. It's just not a Scooby-Doo movie. You can say it's an okay animated movie, but I was promised a Scooby movie, and that is not what anyone received. And I don't want to go into it because I want to be an adult and I'm past this, but I'm actually really hurt. So I don't want to.
Well,
I would not watch it again.
Well, speaking of the Scooby-Doo franchise, I actually just showed my little sibling the very first one, the first one that was in theaters. And I just remember because that was the very first movie I've ever seen in theaters. My parents took me when I was a baby when it came out. And I literally asked her, I was like, have you ever seen this movie? She's like, no, because it obviously she wasn't born. So I showed it to her, and I remember like I feel like it was one of those moments where I can just remember, and not really remember, but it's like kind of remember watching some of these films. Like it just started coming back to me, but I can also remember like just I don't know. I just remember my movie trips when it was just me, my mom, and my dad, like years ago. It was
The
one of those
live,
things,
the live
huh?
action Scoobies. Yeah, no, I loved the live action ones. I remember,
Yeah.
like, went to my home country with my dad when I was like 9, and he bought me like those like movies. He got me like it was like Scooby and like a bunch of other movies in one. It was Scooby Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed on one of the CDs, and we couldn't figure out how to play it in English, but I had memorized the movie basically, so I could watch it in Spanish, even though I don't speak Spanish. It's just like I know what's up.
I genuinely forgot how nice those ones were because like I've just been seeing the newer ones and I'm not too crazy about the newer ones. Even the newer series, I'm not too crazy about. But this one, I even my sister like like she watched some of the newer Scooby series and she doesn't really like them as much. So when she saw this one, she was like, "Yeah, I like this a lot," and it was nice. Honestly that was probably the most recent movie I watched. But aside from the Scooby ones, I did watch I can't remember which one I watched first though. It was within the past few days. So it was just basically it's a Bollywood film. I can't pronounce it, but it's basically like another rendition of Romeo and Juliet, but I want to see how they did this one. And I don't know, something about the movie I liked and something I didn't. It's Golyan Ki Ra. Okay, I'm not even gonna try this anymore. Just Ram and Leela is pretty much the characters as Romeo and Juliet, and like it's if anybody knows who Deepika Padukone is, I hope I pronounced her name properly. She's in it. She has an amazing dance number in the end. That's probably the reason why I watched the movie because I love the song. And it's not bad. I actually kind of like the movie. It's just, I don't know if it's not one of the movies that I like to the point of rewatching again. You know what I mean? I liked it. It wasn't bad, but I think it definitely had a lot more killing than I would have liked. But then again, that's how Romeo and Juliet goes. But this particular film had twice as much killing. I don't remember Romeo and Juliet very much, but it wasn't like bad, but it was also a very modern day version of Romeo and Juliet. And then it had a lot of like instead of the party, so you know how Romeo and Juliet they have that one. I don't remember what the party was for, but they had a party, and that's how the two of them met. This one instead, it was like for Holi, you know. So they basically met and faced each other when everyone was throwing the colored powder, which was cute. I kind of like that. And then where her dance number is in, the one that I like, that song kind of came up when how do I explain it? This one kind of came up during I don't know which. Okay, I'm Guyanese, guys, and yeah, Guyanese has a lot of influenced by Indian culture. Some people will try to say no, but like it is, and I'm Indo-Guyanese, so like I guess I should know this, but I also was raised Christian. I wasn't raised Hindu, and my family definitely doesn't have a lot of knowledge on certain things. Like they do, and my family will explain to me, but I wasn't raised with a lot of Indian customs, more like just Guyanese Caribbean customs, right? So if I'm getting some of this stuff wrong, just know that's the reason why. But I don't know exactly what festival this was for. I have to look into it again. But either way, she was dancing. But one thing I did like about the movie, I kind of like how they changed it up. Like the dynamic wasn't like two beefing families. It was like two. It was like I don't know if it's supposed to be like one village on two like opposing sides or some mafia stuff. But the main, like the Juliet's mom was like a whole ass mafia leader basically, and she was one doing half of the shooting and killing. And I can't say I hate her. Some real badass shit. Not gonna lie to you.
Strong, independent woman.
Yeah, like that's our feminist queen right there. Even though she chopped off
Ooh,
her daughter's finger. Yeah,
Oh
ooh.
damn.
that was an interesting part of the
How
movie.
long did the Romeo and Juliet know each other in that movie?
I don't think it was for 4 days. I think it was longer than that.
So I
Thankfully.
remember like Romeo and Juliet's like so hyped up from like the moment you're born to
Hmm.
the moment you actually read it. I remember reading Romeo and Juliet and being so disappointed, man. I thought it'd be
It
an epic love story.
sucks.
It's just two dumbass horny teenagers who kill themselves because they're stupid.
The relationship lasted longer than 4 days. I can tell you that because they met during Holi. And then I'm pretty sure when I said her dance number took place during, let me see. She invited him
Christmas.
to celebrate Navratri. I'm looking at the synopsis right now, guys, because I want to just make sure I'm getting everything right. And Navratri is like a whole, I believe they do fasting, there's plays, and a lot of cool things, I guess. I just don't. I want to know, when does Navratri? I think it's like, to my knowledge, guys. If someone knows more than I do, please correct me nicely. But I'm pretty sure Holi is usually in the springtime. At least that's how I know they do it in Guyana. And Navratri is in probably right before Diwali. But I don't know if it has anything to do with the start of Diwali. But all I know is it happens before Diwali usually, because Diwali is usually in October and Navratri is in October. Okay, yeah. So technically, this movie takes place in a span of months, which I like because it's realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Not, I'm horny,
I
let's get
can,
married.
yeah, I can root for them more if it's spanning over months. Like, I know I called them stupid for killing themselves, but that's not like not to make light of suicide. I feel like the play makes light. They were just like, you did all that,
Yeah,
girl. You've known for 3 days for a guy. You've known for 3 days a guy. I was
exactly.
so disappointed.
And at least for this one thing I also did like about this is the fact that, like, it was more realistic. There was a part where they had a fallout where I think the two of them went away to get married, but one of the differences is that I believe it was set up by the heads of both families to, like, pick her. I have to rewatch this movie, I guess, if I really want all the facts, to go find her, and then they brought her back. And then after some time, she ended up taking over her mom's mafia because after the dance number I like, which I will probably link this down below, guys. I actually really do like the song and her dancing immaculate. But basically, after that, the mom, the head mafia, they call her Ba, she basically gets shot. So then her daughter, Leela, needs to take over. And
But
basically,
damn.
when after the two of them broke up, Ram takes over the head of his family and she takes over the head of theirs. So then the two of them have to start negotiating. And it's just, it kind of shows that it's, to me, it's realistic. But when you're opposing sides of the family, at some point, the two of them were destined to turn on each other. And that's what happened. To be honest with you, they even had arguments that had to do with like the 500-year long beef. So I think that I like this movie because some of it's more realistic than, I love you, let's get married, let's go kill ourselves. Like, seriously.
All on the first date.
Yeah, exactly. But that's pretty much, those are two of the most recent films I've watched. I don't think I can remember another one.
Their story, Forbidden Love, is the story of Oma and Shu from Avatar: The Last Airbender, first Earthbenders.
Okay, I like the story of Omashu better than friggin' Romeo and Juliet, because at least that story is kind of cute in comparison to Romeo and Juliet.
It's hella cute.
Yeah, friggin' story of, I wish that I was the glove that was on your hand so I can touch your face. Bullshit. That shit was so dumb. I remember all the girls in my class being, and I'm not trying to be like a little pick me, by the way. This, I know it's gonna make sound like a very pick me thing, but I remember a couple of the girls in the class actually were like, "Oh my god, that's so cute," and then like the very few
I
amount
don't
of
think
girls were like,
anyone in my class thought it was.
yeah, I don't know what type of airheads I had in my class, but they were like, "Oh, that's adorable," and then the rest of us were like, "What the fuck?" That's kind of weird. But I was 14 and awkward, but I'm still awkward. Clearly, I'm in my 20s now, and I still think that scene, that line itself is dumb. Maybe I have to reread the story again. I don't feel like it though. Well, aside from movies, guys, do you guys have any guilty pleasures? What are some of those?
I have a couple. One is 90 Day Fiance because it's like the dumbest show, stupidest drama, and the weirdest people. Like, no offense, like those are real people. I'm just saying, like, that the show doesn't do the best and paint you in a great light. There's some
Mm-hmm.
really genuine people. I don't want to be offending people, but not that they're ever gonna see. I'm just talking to you guys, but like, I don't know. I feel bad saying it because they're real life people. Yeah, but yeah, that show is like people watch it to make fun of it, and that's it, you know. But it's entertaining. I have to say, it is.
I feel like
I've seen
that's
some of the Ed and Rose clips. I I don't know. I haven't been. I think because like the few times I tried to watch it, it was always ironically the times where they were focusing on the boring people or the people that didn't have a really crazy story. I
Oh
know
my
a lot of
gosh,
people.
the normal
and
people.
rose quotes are like a TikTok trend now where they're like dubbing it into like their OTPs. I'm like, no, I don't want to see that. I don't want to hear that. Get it away.
You're my best view.
No,
No,
stop. No.
it's so funny. I love that. I love that. I love that song. I tried to use it once, but it's so
Okay.
funny to me. It's so funny to me, bro. I
And
don't
then
know how.
sorry, go on,
So
go on.
no, I was gonna say so many things work with that song that like it's just there's so many different ones. You don't even know the TikTok will start. You don't even know which one you're about to listen to. That's the funniest part about it to me.
I was gonna say my other guilty pleasure just started like this week. I've never seen Glee. I've never watched it. But like after Leah Michelle got canceled, no, I decided to look into it for like the other singers because they're like stand this one, stand that one. So I was like, okay, I want to see it. I want to hear them sing. So I've been looking up clips and just singing clips like basically all week because a lot of them can freaking sing. Like Amber Riley and Naya Rivera, like them two specifically, I've been looking for their songs everywhere. like can't get enough of the Glee clips because I like their voices. That's
Honestly,
another.
I never really watched Glee. I think I was never really the type that was into like certain like I don't know if I wasn't into the idea that there was like covering different types like different songs or popular songs. I don't know if I was never really into it, but I have heard a lot of them sing, and a lot of them are really like really good. I don't think I've ever heard Leah Michelle sing, but I think no, I think I've heard her sing once, and she was never really that great. I don't know though. I can't speak
She
on it, but
has a good voice, but like the whole like I've seen like clips where they don't sing in Glee, and the whole thing is like, oh, we can be talented, but we have to admit that she's like so much more talented than us. I'm like, no, she's not. Like, so many of them are way better singers by a lot.
I watched like I don't know, I've seen the whole thing she got canceled, but because I never followed the show, I never really knew exactly how to react to it. But I saw someone basically sum up that apparently her apology was like so half-assed, like, well, I'm sorry if you chose to get offended. I don't know though, guys. I never really read it. I don't care enough to read it.
I
I
like
don't
that all of her cast members that were defending her though was like, okay, wait, was she an absolute brat? Yes. Was she horrible to work with? Yes. Was she the devil incarnate? Yes. But I just don't think she's racist. It's like, okay, she can be evil to everyone. I don't know if that doesn't make her racist if she's like equally evil to all. It's just funny how like even if you're defending her, you have to be like, yes, she sucks, not for the reasons you think.
because they're also trying to make sure that like people don't call them out for like hiding the truth for her. They're like, yes, she is just as horrible as you all say, but she's not racist. I'm gonna tell you that. And that's actually funny as fuck. Are you
She
kidding me?
might be a bitch, but she's not a Nazi.
Yeah.
What about you, Chris? What are some of your guilty pleasures?
Oh, one
Huh?
of my guilty pleasures right now is dating simulators, and I am embarrassed to admit it, but they are just so much fun.
Shame. Just kidding.
I'm so sorry.
Should be sorry.
Would you like to describe these dating simulators so I can like?
The characters are hot, and the stories are cheesy.
Is it kind of like fan fiction on the low or like?
Yeah, I think it's like basically the like self-insert fan fictions, but in video game style.
Yeah, but it's really
Oh,
not fanfiction because it's an original story.
oh, that's cool. All right, well, I can't judge you for that because I know at one point when at least when I was younger, my biggest guilty pleasure was fan fictions.
And I invite everyone to judge me for the ones that I just listed, and I'm absolutely going to judge Chris for what he just said.
I'm not
I
gonna go
mean, if
into
I'm
more
being
detail about the dating sims I'm into because that's just too much info. But it's nothing bad, I promise.
well, see, I just have to like Google search specifically like a list of like different types of like guilty pleasures only because sometimes I can't think of something, so I try to look at other examples and then something pops into my mind. And I'm literally staring at one that says watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians slash reality TV. I could tell you that is a guilty pleasure of mine. Also because maybe they're always heavily criticized, but I'm always here like, yes, but I need to watch the moment when Kim whipped Chloe's ass with that friggin' handbag. I need to
Don't be
watch it.
fucking rude.
Don't
That's not
be
how she said it at all, but like, yeah.
I'm not really into the newer season though, because the newer seasons are like, I don't know. I'm just not into the newer seasons, but I do live for the old seasons. It just reminds me of the time when life was simple and me and my cousin would just watch them and make jokes about them, pretty much.
Kim, there's
I'd
children in
only watch
Africa
that show at
dying.
my cousin's
Huh?
house too. What?
Yeah. Wait, what'd you say, Chris?
Kim, there's children in Africa dying.
Oh, my diamond earring fell in the ocean. It's gone. Kim, there are people that are dying. Oh God, I love Courtney. Oh my God, Courtney's
I
so
thought
fucking
you were
funny.
talking to Kim for a second. I was
Oh
just
no.
like, what? Her watching Kardashian's not going to change that.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
something
that's
something I do enjoy watching is the car The Sims, which is basically the Sims version of the Kardashians. They're so funny.
Kardashians.
Oh, I like
They're so funny.
SimGM.
Sim GM, that's so
Yeah,
funny.
that's yeah.
I love I love the one where it was like the very first episode always kills me. Where um, they're like, you guys said you guys were gonna get orange soda. We changed our minds, Kim. Whatever, you guys are fucking rude. And she goes to the bathroom to cry.
I remember that one.
I love when they were poor for a day. That was
Oh
so
my god,
funny.
I don't know.
Oh,
I haven't seen it. I have to watch more. Only see
they're
the ones you
so
guys
good.
like sent me.
oh my God. Okay, I'm so sorry to bring it back to the most previous question, but I'm reading something that says reading adult novel like 50 Shades of Grey, and that kind of just reminded me one of the most recent movies I watched, which I'll just put as a pet peeve because I don't really have a pet peeve for watching movies like this. But if I do come across not a smutty novel, but again, it comes to the fan fiction thing. Not really. I don't really have like a preference on who I'm reading for, but sometimes if I see people's work of art or reading, I'll probably read it just because like I try to see if people are good writers. I don't know. I guess quarantine's made me so like I'm just intrigued to see what people can write. But
That's a word for it, Kim, considering the fan fiction we read as a group the other day.
oh no, Chris, no. But the one thing this 50 Shades of Grey thing reminded me of that technically applies to the last question about the movies, but I'll put it in this one as well, just because I do still find a little bit of guilty pleasure when it comes to reading fan fictions. It doesn't have to be smutty though, guys. I'm not always in that type of thing for me to be like, oh, I'm gonna read about having sex with God Chris Evans. Like, no, that's not what I'm reading. But the 50 Shades of Grey, I did watch that movie 365 days.
What's that about? Because I heard people comparing it to 50 Shades of Grey. Is it another toxic relationship?
Yes, 100%. I've never really watched 50 Shades of Grey, so I don't exactly know what that's about. I only watched like
I
the out.
haven't either, but I've made fun of it so much where like we've gone online and we've searched up quotes and we've read
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Like I have a general idea of what that's about. But to say I know what happens, no. I did watch Alex Myers version of that, so like that's kind of how I know what the movie's about. But 365 days, that movie's basically like if any of y'all who are listening to this have read mob fan fiction, like I don't know Harry Styles being a gang leader, or friggin' give me someone else. I don't know somebody else who's fun as hell being a gang leader, like those types of fan fictions. And this is basically what 365 days is because what's his name in the movie? Massimo? Crap, what's Oh yeah. Massimo's his name in the movie. Only because the guy's name also starts with an M in real life. He's kind of cute. He's actually no, I'm not gonna say he's hella fine, but apparently he's kind of problematic. So I'm not gonna go stand him because he's good looking because I don't have time for that. But the movie's basically about guy's a gang leader. He runs a gang. His family's are just a bunch of mobsters and all that kind of stuff. And um, pretty much, I think it starts off with his dad being shot and he got shot as well. Like somehow the bullet went through his dad and went in him, something like that. And I
Multi-generational bullet.
Yeah, pretty much. And to be honest with you, I have to tell you that I watched every moment of that movie from thing. I kind of had to skip through it because I wasn't too into the storyline. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be honest here. I wasn't into the storyline. I was kind of just skipping it. I kind of knew some dotty scenes would come, but I don't know why my brain was like, let's just still watch the movie for fun. I think because everybody was raving about it, so I was like, let's give it a fair chance. But basically, fast forwarding, there's this girl. God, I can't remember her name at the moment. That was so irrelevant to me right there. Whatever her name is, she's a beautiful girl, and I guess he fell in love with her. And I don't know if she had something to do with him. I think she might have saved him or something like that. He basically kidnaps her.
Oh no.
Later on, like years later after he gets shot. I don't know what happens before then because again, I was really just fast forwarding through this movie. Let's remember this. He basically kidnaps her and he gives her 365 days to fall in love with him. He
Like
said,
Giddy and the Beast, but like freaky.
The
yes,
Stockholm
freaky
syndrome.
deaky. Pretty much, he gives her 365 days to fall in love with him, and he's like, "Oh, I love you, whatever." And then she's in a relationship
Sounds
at
so
the time.
creepy.
Yeah. Well, he's in a relationship, and he got his people to find her boyfriend cheating, so he can give her proof, so she could be like, oh, "Thank you for saving me from a relationship." But she doesn't give up. By the way, she's pretty much one thing I kind of like is the fact that she's like not like, "Okay, I'll do what you want." She's just like, "Well, fuck you, bitch." Although he doesn't take that, like the moment that she'll like, if he's like, "Oh my god, can you stop bumping into me?" She'll be like, "Well, sorry, you're in the way." Like even if it's like regular banter, he'll literally like somehow push her up against the wall. Don't provoke me, or nothing comes like the line, "Are you lost, baby girl?" Like what?
It's gross.
Oh yeah, it was basically hilarious. But moving on, yes, there are dirty scenes. All right. Yeah, I've seen both of their asses, and I'm really honest with you. For the podcast's sake, I've definitely skipped through those. Yeah, sure, totally did. I'm kidding, but no, I don't even know. But I was really like, what is going on here? I'm a grown ass woman, all right. Like, anyway, that's pretty much what the movie's about. She has 365 days to fall in love with him, and she's pretty much said that she's not going to. But he basically said that like, if you're not in love with me by like your next birthday or like in 365 days from now, I'll let you free. And she's like, okay, fine. But she starts making some deals like, I need my phone back or whatever. He gives her phone back, and again, your girl skimmed through this movie. But basically, I don't know, they're arguing about something. They went to a club and she's really provoking him and she's really like pissed that she really dislikes this guy. Then the next day, this is right before the iconic, what I mean by iconic is that everyone talks about the scene. The yacht scene, right before then, this bitch falls into the damn water and he has to go save her. And then she starts falling in love with him because what happened? The girl he saved her life. And she's like, you saved me. And then shabang dang dang happens. And then moving on from that, they're in love. And then they meet his ex-girlfriend who vows to kill her. To kill, what's her name? Laura? Laura. She vows to kill Laura. Long story short, and the movie ends by basically thinking that they killed Laura. And I'm like, girl, what? How do you think you killed Laura?
You lost me when they shake a bad bang.
What shabam bam bam.
That took so many unexpected turns.
Yeah, well then she's basically in love and she's like set like I love you, I love you. I don't even know why she made this. Girl, let's just say it must have been good if she really just made one switch like that. But he basically meets the ex-girlfriend. Girlfriend's like, I'm gonna kill you. So he's like, I'm gonna protect you. She's trying on prom dresses. They make her dye her hair and they give her this
Huh?
ugly.
Wait,
Yeah,
prom dresses?
not prom.
Wait, how old is she?
Wait, did I say prom?
Please?
No, sorry, I meant wedding dresses. Oopsies. She's like, they're all grown. They're all
This
grown
could
ass
be
adults. Okay, so at least nothing
problematic
fully
so
illegal.
quickly.
Sorry, I don't know what the fuck just happened there. I'm really confused. And at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, it shows that she's died. She died in that tunnel because somebody plotted to kill her, and they couldn't
Wait,
get
the
to her in
main
time.
girl?
Yeah, Laura. She ended up dying, and he fell to the ground crying. And I was just there like, very bad ending. Would not recommend. Don't like it. The only perks of this movie is that he's fine, she's gorgeous, and if you're into it,
Their
they do the
butts are
shebang
great.
dang 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 dang. That's pretty much it. But it's not like oh my god, I need to watch the movie. I just want to see what the hype was about. And my guilty pleasure now has been reading fan fiction. Not really smutty ones though, because I really don't. I'm not gonna go tell everybody this information, but reading at least people's writing. That's been my fan fiction, and that's not. Yeah, like whatever. I've read some Chris Evans ones. Literally, people I don't even stand. I'm just like, oh, let me read this. Oh, let me see this. Oh, this is on my timeline, and we just read. That's been one of my guilty pleasures. Also, a pastime for quarantine, pretty much. But I have to tell you guys about this 365 movie. I mean, would I recommend you guys watch it? That's your choice.
I'd rather not.
Yeah, like that's your choice.
I'll
I
stick
feel
with
like
my
I've already
dating
lived through it
simulators.
with your great explaining.
I didn't even pay attention to the interesting parts and the most important parts. I didn't even like listen to. I was just like, yeah, that happened. But it took a long time to explain that, so I apologize for the extended.
So yeah, it's break time for us right now. We'll see you. You'll see us in 2 seconds. We'll see you in 10 years. Who knows?
We're gonna be old people by the time we come back.
You're gonna hear me talking like this. Anyways, yeah. See you after the break.
Okay, so as you can tell, it's really hot outside because we are now in summer. It's summer. We're days away from the first day of summer. So, with all of that being said, drink your water because with summer comes heat and with heat comes dehydration. And with dehydration, well, you know the rest. Just drink your water. It's very important. No matter how much you hate it, it's very important. So with all that being said, please drink your water. From all of us here at Podcast by Default, we all like to chug water, and you should as well. This has been brought to you by Podcast by Default and sponsored by water. Welcome back to Podcast by Default. We are back from break, and
Oh my gosh. Kimberly, is that you? Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've heard your voice. It's been years.
I haven't heard
Hi,
you
how
in
are you?
20 years.
I'm good. I'm good. How are you? How are the kids?
Wait, they're like awful. You
Oh.
know. You have 20.
Oh yeah.
The
Half of them are
grandkids
adopted.
dead.
Oh look, Chris, what type of time machine did you go into?
Oh yeah, we're like in our 40s. He's like in his 80s.
The one I invented.
He invented sliced cheese. Just kidding, guys. We are back, and before the break, we were just answering some questions that we did. We're just doing like another like flash round type of thing, and we're just discussing random things. So you guys can join the discussion with us if you like in the comments, because that's all you guys got to do with us anyway. So yeah, right now we're just like answering some questions, having good conversation. Yeah. And it's 3 a.m. So if we start saying some weird out of pocket stuff, just know it's late. We're tired.
It's crack boy hours.
So yeah. Yeah. So I got a question now. All right. This might I think this is a really good creative question. If you were a king/queen, what would your throne look like?
I'll let Chris take this one first. I think he was really excited.
Okay, so you guys know that I really enjoyed the first seasons of Game of Thrones, not including season 7 and 8 because those were god awful. Season 7 was like, okay, it could have been better. It could have been a lot better in some sections. Season 8 was just, oh, but I'm not going to get into that right now because that's not what this podcast is about. What I really enjoy is the whole concept of the Iron Throne. And if I were to be a king or king, why would I be a queen? See,
Make your own rules, bro. You could be a king. If you're a king, be a king and queen, and no one can stop.
this is what we're talking about, crack boy hours, because I almost said if I was a queen,
Well, Chris, who said you can't be a queen?
No,
me,
if you're the
because
if you were
I
the
want to be a
ruler,
king.
holding yourself back. It would be both. One.
Oh yeah, so if I was a king, I would design my throne to be made out of weapons, because I do find that to be like a really cool concept. Also, I recently watched the film Knives Out.
Yes.
It's such a fun film. Like, it's a
It
bit
is.
slow at first, but when it picks up, and your eyes just cannot get off the screen, right? And in the film Knives Out, there's a little. It's not as much of a throne. It's more like a seat that's made out of plastic knives, right? And it just looks so
Yeah.
badass because it's like a seat and surrounded by knives. So my throne would look something like that, just made out of weapons, have nice padding so I don't stab my ass and bleed to death, and just surrounded with an assortment of different weapons that I enjoy using.
That knife chair kind of reminds me of like when a peacock spreads its feathers, but like it's all knives.
Yay. It looks so cool.
It does.
What about you,
So
Jess?
for me, I do like the Iron Throne. You know how it's kind of almost back is like jagged.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I would want that kind of design for the back, but completely made out of amethyst. So I'd have like a huge. Obviously, there'd be cushions for my butt 'cause it's cold, but like it'd be like a huge blob of amethyst carved into like a really cool throne. And then I would also have a lot of ornate details. I think I've said this before. I'm not a minimalist at all. I like ornate. I like detailing. And if I'm a king and queen, I'm gonna deck the whole thing out. And it's
Oh,
probably
yeah.
gonna have a cup holder.
I'm gonna want something bougie and I want something comfy. Like, I totally see what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty much all I had to say about it. I just got really excited just picturing it. Somehow want a waterfall in it.
In the
I know
throne or
it.
in your castle?
Okay, like those little fountains that are like indoors, but not like water fountains, but like a water, like, like where the armchairs are. There's like armrest, and then there's like the thing that holds it up. Like that can be a water.
Yeah, I can see that. Would the amethyst be different colors?
I would like purple, but again, I am gonna have ornate carvings and details and other stones in it. We'll see.
What about you, Kim? What would your throne look like?
Well, right now I'm Googling some throne ideas because I feel like I got something. Now, first of all, some of these stones look comfy, but I need them to be comfy. If I'm gonna be sitting there and making rules and passing laws like it's none of my business, I need that shit to be comfy. I do not need my ass hurting after sitting on it for like how many hours a day. Not saying that's what kings and queens do, but in the movies they do that.
Oh my
So,
gosh, our seats should totally be like those electric massagers.
oh yes.
The ones where you
Okay,
sit, like you add it to your couch and you just like turn it on. Yep.
color scheme. Okay, I want the thing to be wide. I want it to be like a wide seat. Reason being is because, girl, I don't want to sit upright in the one position the whole time. Maybe I want to put my leg up. Maybe I want to lie down. You know what? Wait. You know how in those music videos or in those movies or whatever, they
Those
always have like,
chases?
huh?
Okay, it's called chase. Those long couch things.
No, not like those. Like it just needs to have like the seat has to be wide enough where like if I want to put my foot up, it's not. I don't need to like lay down on it, but it's more like my foot has room. Like kind of like how a couch, like a one single couch has room for your feet type of shit. Like if you want to cross your legs on it and sit comfortably, you can do that. It's just like wide enough for like if two people want to sit on the same throne, you could.
If you want to get spicy on
Type
the
of thing.
throne, you can.
Not like those like really skinny narrow thrones where like you're squished. I want comfort.
Enough
Right?
room so that you can lean back and just look like a badass with your legs crossed or your legs open while you're
Yeah.
beheading people.
Like in the Little Mix music video called Salute, I'm pretty sure, I think it's Leanne. I haven't seen that video in years, but I think one of them are sitting on like some sort of throne and like some sort of like they're sitting and they're like in a weird like not in a position. They're in some she's in some position. Let me find this right now because I know exactly what part of the music video this is. She's basically sitting on the chair and like she's like singing and like so badass where she's like straight up like when you sit on like a one cushion couch thing where like you're sitting on the edge but like your leg is like hanging over the arm holder. It's like if I can like sit like that and pass orders looking like a badass, I kind of want that vibe to it. So I kind of want the color scheme to be like black and gold. I just love that color scheme together.
That is very royal.
Black, gold. I do think I like the cup holder idea, but I also would like, I don't know, bro. Can Thrones play music? Like, is that a thing?
You can attach a boombox to it.
A boombox, or like it's somehow connected to my to like some speakers or something. I'm trying to think behind. What am I gonna put behind it? Honestly, it's either like.
Oh no! So what you're gonna do is your throne is gonna be set directly on top of these really huge speakers. So when you want to play a song, you just choose a song from your phone, and right below you, the music's gonna just blare out, and everyone has to put up with it because you're the queen.
I love that speaker idea, or at least speakers around where I have like a remote that controls everything. I'm gonna need like more like a remote, like an iPad or something, but like not on the throne, maybe near the throne. Or maybe I'll just have somebody. You know what? If I'm a king or queen, I'm gonna pay somebody to just change the music for me. I
You don't
curate the
pay
playlist
them.
beforehand.
You
Yeah,
just order them.
true. And then but behind me, I need like a sequence, and it's either is there some way I can make it like maybe like black gems with like liquid gold falling behind?
You don't have to ask. This is your throne. This is your dream throne. You just say and it's done.
Let's see. Is it a like a black diamond or something? Which is like a liquid. Oh wow, this is extremely bougie and probably very unrealistic, but that is what my throne would look like. Black and gold aesthetics, or maybe my throne will be black and gold, and then the background might have like a lighter color, white and gold or marble or something, just so you can focus on the beauty of my throne. So like, how do I become royalty?
You marry into it.
Born into it. Oh, you marry into it. All right, guys. If you need me, I'll be googling the single princes of the world. I'm kidding. That's what my throne would look like. Okay, real quick, I gotta ask you guys this before I guess we move on to like the next big question. But if you guys would have an intro song now, and I think let's just think we're still kings and queens. But if you guys would have an intro song, or maybe a song that you play when everybody walks in and sees you on your throne, what song would it be?
Like here's the thing. I've thought about this. Not like if I were a king or queen, but like if I were a character in like a movie or a TV show or whatever. Like how characters have character themes. What would my character theme be? So I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But I want to know so badly. I want to hire someone. Just like, do you see? I did. I don't know. I'm not.
The thing is, it could your theme could vary very differently depending on your backstory, the setting of the world, what's happening in the world right now, who your enemies are, like all that.
Yeah, but if someone were to meet you right now, like in this world as it is, there's still so many things that they could take. They could take from your backstory, your life, your aura, what you do now, the vibes you give out, the kind of person they see you as, and that depends like of the level that they know you. They're going to see different sides of you. They're going to have a different. Again, if they're musically inclined like that, they're going to have like a different song. It's like so many questions that I'm so curious. I'm never gonna know.
I feel like my song would just depend on what situation I'm in. You're right. Like, okay, what if my Royal Highness? What if I need to do a boxing match? I need a certain type of song. I can't be like the same song. You know how like in boxing matches or even wrestling matches, they have like this hype song that hypes up the entire crowd. I need something like that for like some badass. Like I'm about to go like fly a dragon or some shit. I don't know. You need something badass.
But yeah, I would want to know, would mine be more like a gentle one? Would it be more like upbeat? Would it be pressing? I don't know.
If I were to have this big royal ball and everybody would dress up like kind of like really like Renaissance style, and I would have a modern ball, we play classical music or whatever, at least for my entrance, bitch, I want the classical version of Somebody Come Get Her, She Dancing Like a Stripper. Yeah, that one.
Somebody
The one that
get her,
she dancing like a stripper. Yep, the classical version of that I need.
I love that.
That
That's
suits
how we
you
walk
so
in.
well.
And then your highness will throw some ass.
Your royal ass.
Okay,
Sorry.
now that you mentioned like classical songs, there are soundtracks from video games that I really enjoy that could be intro music for me that I just simply enjoy. And I think Majula from Dark Souls 2 is, I said that weird, Dark Souls 2 is just such an beautiful song because there is this kind of like somber vibe to it, but it also relaxes you and gives you a sense of peace because in Majula it's sort of like the hangout area for all the good people and all the people that are in your team, and no monsters can get into this area, so you don't have to worry about anything. And it's also the area where you buy where you upgrade your weapons, where you repair your weapons, where you buy armor and stuff like that. So that would be like a song that would represent me.
If I had to have like a hype song, like Into the Dragon's Den or whatever, you know the trailer for Wonder Woman 2? You know the song that they play is the Blue Monday, but they like made it epic?
Oh, I do not remember that song specifically.
Okay, listen to it. Blue Monday is a popular song from the 80s, and then Wonder Woman's like an epic superhero, so kind of merged because this is Wonder Woman 1984. They took the song Blue Monday, but they like orchestrated it and they made it like sick. It's just like an epic
Damn.
Blue Monday. I would want like an 80s song or something like that, and then you just make it epic.
If I were
That
to
would be
make a
cool.
song about like me kicking ass or something like that, it'd probably be, so what I would imagine is something bad happens and there I am going to solve it because of course I'm gonna be the main character in my story, and people are telling me to calm down and I'm like, bitch, you better shut the fuck up because I'm gonna burn this place down. And a song that fits really well with that is Calm Down by Cruella. Such a good
Yep.
song, and when I'm feeling fiery I listen to it because it calms me down.
I think one song, if like my royal highness had to fight someone, or if I had to like do some sort of sword battle. Okay, maybe modern day if I had to. I feel like one song, or like even if I had to, I don't know. I don't know why my brain is thinking boxing match for some reason. I think it's just because it's such a hype moment, I guess. But that song, Boss Head by Masha Matar and Bungie Garlin. Anyone who knows soca music will know that song, or at least know who those artists are. For some reason, this song comes to mind, and I have no idea why. I don't know if it's because they're training each other how to fight in this music video. At least last time I saw it. But the like boss man and like the way the music goes, I feel like I just get energized to like move, and I feel like I'm energized to be like, yeah, let's do this. I don't know why. Good song though.
I do want to just see a story where all of our kingdoms are just
I honestly,
in one world.
if we were each characters in our own story, I still don't think I would be the main character in my story. I think I have side character energy at best. At best, I could be like one of those beloved side characters or like kicks. I think I have NPC energy, to be honest.
You wouldn't be like a protagonist, but you do have main character energy because you're not quiet enough to be one of those NPCs that are just brushed off to the side.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Okay, well
I'll be
my
like a
question.
fan favorite. There we go.
Do you
Not
think
really.
do you think that like what if our
Everything.
things were to like our stories were to combine together, and what if we were Kindle, what if we were like something like the Avatar gang?
Well, okay, yeah, like again, that makes sense because I'm definitely not the Avatar, but I could still be like a cool ass bender.
Yeah. Like, could you imagine? Okay, what if like we even had an alternate story where like we're somewhat like badass fucking characters fighting like that. We all had like some sort of like powers. I would just say some sort of bending. I don't know what type of bender we'd be. What kind of
Well,
bending?
according to BuzzFeed, I'm a waterbender.
I'm also
Yeah, how
a
do people?
bender.
Yeah,
Let's see.
everyone got waterbender except for Kimberly.
I took one quiz. I swear some quizzes is so hard because some of them are just like, "What's your favorite ice cream flavor?" You chose chocolate. Well, you're a firebender. And then some of them will ask you like the most in-depth questions, and it's so hard to tell. Like I wish there was like,
Some of them are so obvious though. Like, what do you like to do? Swim at the beach? Swim? Start a barbecue? Play frisbee? or make a sandcastle? Like, gee, I wonder.
or like it'll be like, "What do you when somebody asks you a question, how do you feel? Do you feel calm? Do you feel sad? Do you feel like you can break something? Do you feel angry?" It's like, huh, bitch. I wonder what that means. Like,
Those questions are so vague sometimes, yeah.
and I'm trying to find out, like, I look on Pinterest and I have it right in front of me as saying, like, oh, based on your hand, you could tell what kind of bender you are. And
See,
I can tell
those
you,
are bullshit because the person who made that had a clear bias in mind.
yeah, they wanted their hand to be their favorite bend. I can't even tell. Like, sometimes I'll look and be like, oh, yeah, my hand's small and fat, but then it's not. But then it is. But then it's not. It's so hard.
I had
Okay,
airbender hands. I'm not sure.
for
I
me, I
think
think
I had
I either
No, I
had
think it was
airbender
water.
hands.
for me, I either had mine was a tie between fire and air, just because I couldn't tell if my palms were fatter and my fingers were longer, or if it was vice versa. But I know I had like a mixed proportion somehow. I think mine said like mine was fire, but like I don't know, and I'm trying to like look at quizzes to be like, oh, well, let me see. But no one has an idea. Like the creator should just come up with a quiz and be like, hey guys, we made the story, so we're gonna tell you.
And like the
This,
Pottermore thing the Harry Potter people have. You need
yeah.
that for Avatar.
I'm a
Yeah,
Slytherin.
I want to know literally what type of bender, because I know at one point, especially when I was younger, and I first started learning about zodiacs and stuff, I honestly was thinking like maybe this had something to do with like your zodiac sign. But then I was like, what? You're telling me that everybody in all the nations had the same damn birthday? Don't come tell me with that bullshit. Although you know how we all know how birthdays work, all right? But like still,
It just doesn't work. They can't put a baby to term unless it's
Unless-
during those certain times.
unless they have like certain mating seasons. So you're either born like if you're like the Fire Nation, you're either born as an Aries, as a Sagittarius, or as a
If you're
Leo.
born in like if you're like let's say you're not born like say you're born in the Fire Nation, but you're not born during a fire sign time, then that means you're a non-bender. Or you're a bender.
Ooh, what if that? Ooh, that would actually be interesting.
But what about
That-
like Republic City?
All right,
What
I didn't
is
watch.
that?
I watched one episode of Legend of Korra, guys.
Is
I don't
that
have the
Legend
stuff.
of Korra things? We don't
Yeah.
know her.
Okay, so like what about like in the concept of after the war when people are mating with each other, like how would that happen? Like different nations loving
I have no
other
idea.
nations.
This whole thing we've just been pulling it out of our ass. So.
I wonder if Avatar Kyoshi ever like was like not. But when do you think she was born?
Kyoshi had an airbender mother and an Earth Kingdom father, I believe. So she was mixed. She was the Avatar. That's why she has like the Earth Kingdom garb, but she has the air fans. The air fans were from her mom. And her father was like a theater kid. That's why that's why she paints her face. It was a theater thing that he did.
Wait, so how are all the Kyoshi warriors, if they're born in like the Earth Nation, how are they all non-bender? That's what I want to know. We have a lot of questions about the Avatar universe because we are so passionate about it.
I'm on season two, like I'm rewatching it for like the third time. I'm on season two. I'm on season 2, like episodes. The Sandbenders just took Appa.
Such a sad story.
I'm having a hard time going. They're so mean to him.
Wait,
He
who?
deserves everything in the world. Appa.
Appa.
I'm at
Appa.
the arc where Appa got kidnapped.
Oh my god, I'm rewatching it too at the moment. It's for the second time this quarantine, and let me just say, I'm so sad. I love Appa so much. He's so cute.
And then there's Momo the
Baby
gun.
Yoda's got nothing on baby and adult Appa.
Honestly, not one thing.
I really like the memes where like Avatar the Last Airbender versus Avatar the Last Airbender if Appa just started eating people.
My favorite one is someone said Avatar Last Airbender versus Avatar Last Airbender if Momo had a gun. And that shit made me laugh so hard. I think I might have said this in another podcast, but still, it's so funny. Or if Katara started bloodbending some fools. That shit is funny.
Zuko got therapy.
I swear, you know what? I wish genuinely though, can we push for the creators to like literally just think deep and give us like a genuine way for everyone to find out what type of bender they are? I want to know what type of element I should start playing with for fun now.
Because they did a lot of research to create this story. So like all those background informations, they can make a quiz.
Well, did you guys ever see that like theory, that like fan theory that like Ty Lee might have possibly been, she might have had descendants of the air, like the air kingdom?
Yeah, I've heard that. That makes sense to me.
Like,
yeah, that one makes sense.
It makes
because
sense
like,
if she was a descendant of them, but she's still a non-bender. It doesn't make sense if she's an airbender.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think she was a bender. I don't think it would be she was a bender. Like, I think it was just more like she just had ancestry from there.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a non.
Because her Just even her personality would, I think, vibe a lot with Air Nomads.
And someone had something to do with like her physical features as well, which I can kind of see only just because she
That's
looks.
why one of her sisters played Aang in the
Yeah,
play
I was just
episode.
gonna mention
Yeah.
that.
I mean, yeah, it all kind of makes sense.
Just the tiny little Easter egg right there.
And like just her in general, because especially like I'm rewatching it right now, and I'm really, especially with that like theory in my mind whenever I see Ty Lee, and you just see her and Azula and May, and then just like the Azula and May really look like they can kill a bitch, and then you just have Ty Lee who's like ready to punch someone out. She's like, oh my god, you're cute.
She's a
And was
cinnamon
it-
roll, but she could kill people.
No, Ursa, Zuko, and Azula's mom.
Yeah.
Also a theater kid.
She was what?
Wait, real.
Like Zuko, you know how he's the blue spirit and he has that like drama mask, the blue spirit mask.
Mm-hmm.
The comics, apparently they explain how he got it, and apparently he got it from his mom because his mom used to be like one of the Ember Island players, and her family used to be like dramatic like that, and so she had all these masks from different plays, and that's where he got that one.
Oh, damn.
Oh, I think I might have heard that one. Because I did watch a video about the comments afterwards.
I actually want to read the comics. I'm gonna find them,
same.
buy them, read them. Just need more, but I'm gonna save that for after I finish rewatching again, so it's more complete.
I wonder if there's a way I can find it online. I don't think so though. I feel like I'd have to actually buy
You
it.
can find them online because I do remember reading the comic where Zuko and Azula go and search for their mom.
Read comiconline.2. The promise.
I do remember what happened to their mom. I think I looked it up. It's like
No spoilers.
it's crazy. Okay, I was saying like it'd be whack.
Anywho, that's all the time we have for this podcast. It went by really quickly for us.
Even though the part 1 and 2 were taken years apart, and now me and Kimberly have kids, and Chris is an 80-year-old man.
Oh yeah. I forgot I should talk like this. Get off my lawn.
Get off my Wi-Fi.
Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed this week's podcast. We hope that you guys are able to, like, I guess, relate to some of the stuff that we said. We didn't say anything too deep, just general stuff. But still, if you guys have any similar
Everyone can
opinions,
relate to loving Avatar: The Last Airbender, and if you can't, you haven't watched it yet, and you need to go watch it.
yeah,
We've all watched it. So.
And if you have watched it and you still
Exactly.
don't like it, then you're wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong. You're not allowed to have an opinion on that. I don't care. You can't come and be like, I haven't asked my opinion. No, you're wrong if you don't like it. It's such a good show, like 100%. But yeah, if you guys have any similar opinions, you guys are like, have your own views on some of the questions, go ahead, comment that down below.
You're allowed to disagree with everything except for is Avatar: The Last Airbender good, because it's amazing.
Exactly. Yeah, everything else you can disagree with except for that. Like if you think that maybe we should have cup holders with our thrones, or if we should have like reclining thrones, let us know. We will definitely agree with you on that. But do not disagrry with us on Avatar. That is where we cross the line.
We'll come after your ass.
But yeah, make sure you guys subscribe and share with your friends. So I don't have to explain this to you, okay? All right, you guys know what to do. And also make sure you guys check out the description where we might have more information on maybe some of the stuff that we were talking about, some of the songs we mentioned that we would love for you guys to listen to, and any links that we would think is important for you guys to look at, That's where we like to connect with you guys in the description. And yeah, make sure you guys follow our Instagram, our Twitter. And that's it. We don't have anything else. We'll make a Pinterest one day for you guys if you want.
Specifically for our throne.
Oh my god.
Ideas. That's amazing.
Oh my god. Guys, thumbs up if you guys want us to make Pinterest walls for our thrones. Oh my god. Or just our castles in general.
My Pinterest wall is just gonna be full of weapons.
Full of weapons. Oi. And you know what, guys? Me and Chris and Jess are going to play, what's it called? We're going to find out what type of benders we are, and then next week's podcast, you guys are going to find out what we got on this quiz, and if we think the quiz is bullshit or not, because I did not look at the questions ahead of time. So yeah, thank you guys for listening, and we hope you enjoyed, and this has been Kim.
I'm Chris, and my brain has stopped working completely now. And that's Angela, and also Jess. And also Gemma, and Mish, and Julia, and everyone else in the world.
They've just been quiet this entire time. We didn't let them speak.
Oh my gosh, guys, you're on mute. Take yourself off.
They're rude. They're so rude. Ugh. I'm kidding. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been Podcast by Default. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.